Wednesday. And I don't mean do the hump, do the hump. November 12th. Yesterday was Veterans Day. This phone is saying there's no signal, but now there's a signal. Okay. AML Films. AML Films is live. We're getting a little bit of wind. There's supposed to be some rain tomorrow. I already knew it was going to rain because when the flies come in, when flies start coming in your house, that means it's going to rain. And it was spot on. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. And the wind's already blowing that way. Right? So 9 days out of 10 the wind blows that way. Here in California. 9 days out of 10 the wind blows southeast. And right now it's blowing northeast. Going that way instead of that way. So, okay, that's weird. We're always going live at the same time. What's her name? Speak the Truth 2.0 is live right now. And talking about the same old stuff, right? But I'm really surprised. Orange Man has been you know, wait a minute, something happened with Warren Buffett. The end of an era. Wonder what happened with Warren Buffett. I get all my news from Willie D. I don't watch mainstream media. So I kind of like filter because I don't want to listen to Lucifer, right? Mainstream media is its mouthpiece. Okay, so I have a super simple solution to end a lot of this bullcrap. Okay. So I'm just following up on the live stream that I did last night because I actually forgot to talk about a few things. But the main thing I want to talk about is to bring people's attention back to this subject because people don't think, right? They think this is, you know, they've been desensitized. And, what is all, wow, where's all that damn wind coming from? Oh, I've got that window open. I've got to close that window. So, this is important, so I want to follow up on the video I made last night. Okie dokie. So, everybody's going live right now. I guess everybody wakes up at the same time, huh? That's weird. Yeah, so the latest thing was, is that I had made a comment the other day on one of my videos. And, Orange Man just confirmed it. Confirmed exactly what I said. Right? If you thought I was being harsh, he just confirmed it. I was telling the audience, okay, pretty good signal. Got a lot of people in here. Hello, people in the comment section who are leaving messages. What designs? All these? How could you not see these designs in years? I just barely got this computer last year, unless my memory's going out. Okay. Hold on. This this piece of paper keeps flapping over here. It's driving me crazy. I should go in here and close this window. There. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. So, this is a touchy-feely subject because let me show you the book so that you don't think I'm bullcrapping, okay? So you don't think that I'm biased or, you know, a hater. Let me show you the book, okay? Thrown it away. I probably burned it or something. Right? The memory isn't what it used to be. Anyhow, it's called Multicultural Law Enforcement. It's the 4th edition, and I probably took it out and burned it, right? I'm like, I'm never going to use this book again. As soon as you throw something away, that's when you need it. And so now all of a sudden the subject comes back up, right? I can pull it up online. And so I'm monitoring myself with this one really. But, let me see. Wow, 6 people came in here. Well, you're just going to have to take my word for it, and I'll look for it and I'll show it to you next time, okay? Signal's crapping out, probably because of the weather. Okay. Let me turn the volume down. Okay. So once again, the name of the book is called, it's for AOJ, Administration of Justice. If any of you are going to school and you take this class, it's called Community Policing or something like that. But the book is, it's not the one that says Community Policing, it's the one that says Multicultural Law Enforcement, and it's the 4th edition, and the people who wrote it are like, they're like all different, there's like 5 people that wrote it, and they're all different racial ethnicities. So it's a real book. And like I said, I'll look for it, but I probably burned it. Probably burnt. But I'll look for it and maybe order another one. And because it looks like this crap is kicking back on again. Okay, did any of you go in and watch the video of this cop? Well, cops. There was a few of them, and so I'm just going to tell you what I think, and you know, it involves psychology. If you read the book, the 4th Law Enforcement, Multicultural Law Enforcement, that's what it talks about. It tells you that these psychos, there are psychos who are drawn to the law enforcement like a freaking magnet. It's a psychomagnet. Okay? It's not just my words. It's out of the book. This is what they teach the students. Okay? This is what they teach students going to school studying administration of justice. I recommend it. highly, especially if you're, doing First Amendment audits. Which, by the way, the dude, you know what I'm talking about, right? This thing that happened in New Mexico. I just saw that. I saw Las Cruces, New Mexico. I just barely saw it on these live streams or Facebook or somewhere. And I just saw it last night, and I was just like, oh man, no way. I'm like, this crap again, right? Because I told you the whole story last night. They obliterated the First Amendment auditors, the ones who were out there filming them. Of course, nobody was there to film them because they freaking obliterated the whole movement. Okay? And if there was somebody out there with the phone recording, I'll bet that would have never even freaking happened. The dude just pulled out his freaking gun and freaking put it up to his head and freaking blew his brains out. And I don't, so it goes into the psychology and all this, but I don't know if you have ever hung around a bunch of people doing drugs, okay? Their behavior is like people who are freaking out of their minds on freaking the pipe, okay? And so I just looked up right now. I asked AI, AI, you can ask AI anything. And I said, did he have to go in and drug test after? And it's like, no. It's pick and choose. Isn't that freaking crazy? No wonder why this thing coming through the outer space. They're saying that it's sending a radio frequency. They're using Mikao Kaku. He's the dude who did quantum physics. He invented string theory. And they're using his picture. And they're saying this whole big thing. Everybody's saying it, though, about this thing there in outer space. They're saying that it's sending out radio waves, and it's saying your species is freaking nuts. We're turning off your AI, and we're shutting down all the crap that you got going into outer space. We're shutting it all down because you people are freaking nuts. And it says something like, we've been watching you for 300,000 years, and you're about to destroy yourselves because you freaking don't know how to handle the technology, right? And so no wonder. Look at this crap. What's going on? A dude blows somebody's head off, and you don't go drug test him. And you've seen the video that was on it. It was his own body cam. It was his own body cam footage. So just from what you could see off the body cam footage, the guy didn't even waste a second. He just straight freaking blew his head off. And it's like they can't keep their hands off him. It was all a violation, right? They did whatever the hell they wanted to. And first of all, what was their reason for pulling them over? They didn't even pull them over. These guys were in a gas station getting gas, right? And so the one dude, this is one thing that really, is a problem. It's a lot of these people who want to film what's going on. They don't know AOJ, Administration of Justice. If they would take Administration of Justice, introduction to into criminal justice. It's in AOJ, Administration of Justice. It's the class is Introduction to Criminal Justice. Okay? In that book that you read there, that tells you the basics. This is what Huey Newton was doing. Okay? When he read this book and he found out this stuff that's in there, this is your First Amendment right and your right to remain silent and these basic things, these basic three things, it's covered in the whole book. And so these people don't know. I would imagine they don't know. I don't know the people in prison if they give them access to these books, right? Probably not. and so this guy, he's sitting in the passenger seat, and he's got his phone out, and he's recording the cop, and he's like, "What are you doing? Get your hands off me!" And the officer gives him some bogus, "Oh, well, you didn't come on back, or this or that." And he goes, "Well, get your hands off me." He says, "No, he says, I won't put my hands on you because I don't want you to reach for a weapon or something," right? So in other words, he was basically doing whatever he wanted. He wasn't going by the law, okay? And they will do it every time, okay? And so this person, they didn't have their thinking caps on, right? I mean, I know you don't want to be rude or nothing like that, but he should have at least had his door locked, okay? If he would have had his door locked, that wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have been the way it was. And so there are certain things you have to follow. You can't just walk up to somebody's car and pull them out of the car without a reason. They didn't have any reason. As a matter of fact, it went to court. They already found the dude was wrong, okay? And so they put him on I don't know what they called it, but justified something. Well, the dude who he murdered, his dad was at court, and the news, when they played it, they didn't even let you hear what he was talking about. All that you heard was, "My son, you murdered my son." That's all they didn't let the explanation. It's a big freaking cover up. And so it's like, how would this mofo like it if somebody went over there and did that to his son? Okay, that was somebody's son. This dude, what it looked like to me, okay, when you have a really bad day, when something just makes you really mad, and some people don't know how to process that, they just go berserk. That's what it looked like to me, because it didn't even take 10 seconds for him to pull that out and freaking do that. Okay? And not only that, but I don't think they even drug tested him, because it's pick and choose. It's pick and choose who they want to drug test. So if you haven't saw it, you can just type in, I think it happened in 2022, and you can just type in police shooting, Las Cruces, New Mexico, Chevron gas station, and that should pull it up. Okay? And so, yeah, I just asked AI right here. I've got it right here. I was like, no way. You got to be. That is so freaking crazy. People out there with guns blowing people's head off, and you don't drug test them? That's freaking crazy. See right here, it says, in New Mexico, there is no statewide law or standardized procedure that universally requires a police officer to be drug tested after a deadly shooting. Instead, the requirement for such testing is determined by the specific policies of the local law enforcement agency, which means whichever police department he is working, right? That employs the officer. So basically, what that means is it's pick and choose. That's how they get away with all this stuff. Just like the ELD for truckers, pick and choose. It's so freaking unfair. It's not even funny. Okay, so moving on to what I had said. Okay, I told you on one of my videos. I don't remember how long ago. It was probably, I don't know, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago. I was telling you about the electric vehicle. And so some of the information was not 100% up to par. Okay, first of all, the BYD Seagull that is available to basically every place on earth except the United States. Okay. It's a brand new car, electric. You can buy it off the lot for under $10,000. As a matter of fact, you can even get an electric vehicle right now. It's very popular in the UK and in China and big cities, India. You can actually get a brand new electric vehicle for under $5,000. Okay, but the car I'm talking about is a BYD, and it's the BYD Seagull. They're not allowed in the United States because, you know, what's going on. The competition, they're like, we don't want, you know, it's over 100% tariff. So it's like, you know, they just put too much of a tariff on it, and I don't even know if you can actually, well, Ford, the guy who, the CEO for Ford, he actually ordered one, and he drives it here in the United States. He drives a BYD, right? It's either BYD or Xpeng. I think it's BYD. Look it up. Jim Farley. He ordered one of these Chinese cars, and that's what he drives. A Chinese electric vehicle, even though all the rest of us, we can't get one. Well, I was saying that they have them down here. If you go down to Southern California to the border of Mexico, there's a little town right there. There's also a big town. There's a big town, Tijuana. They have them there too. But there's a little small town in Mexicali, and on the California border, that's Calexico. It's Imperial Valley. This is basically El Centro, near El Centro, California. And they have them there. You can actually go over there and buy one and then bring it back and register it. But I heard it's a trick trying to get it registered. But I was saying that it's $10,500 for this car. But that's in China. Okay, China, and I don't know if there's any other places. Over here, it's twice as much. So it's 20,000, 20-some thousand, $21,000. Okay, so it's not 10,000. Not unless you're in China. And so I just wanted to clear that up. And so what I said about the electric vehicles, you know, there are some that are built here in the United States, but they don't know what they're doing, right? They got, you know, do research on them. If you can find them, they're basically hiding them. You don't know which are which. Some of them, I think some of these American brands are actually made by, you know, by China. You know, it'd be nice to have a chart that says which ones are from China, so you can go look for them, right? You know, this one is, but they have so many different model numbers. Even they have the same model numbers that's not even electric. They've got it all messed up so that you can't find them. You have to look really, really hard to find the electric vehicles, but they're here. There's hundreds of them. There's dozens and dozens of different brands of electric vehicles on the road already. They're just keeping it hush hush because, like somebody just put up a solar panel array over there. You never have to. You never have to pull into the gas station again. You charge them off the sun, off solar panels. You can also run everything in your house. You never have to pay another electric bill off these solar panels, and you charge your car off of it. And then what's made extra, you actually get paid. It gets put back into the grid. Okay? And so this disrupts the largest industry on planet Earth, energy. And so I was saying that they can't build the crap over here, right? I was saying these people over here have been so dumbed down, deliberately dumbed down, putting crap in their food, putting fluoride in the water, deliberately dumb them down, and you expect them to build these high-tech devices like other countries that are not doing that to their citizens, that haven't done that to their citizens. Okay? And I told you that this is the only place that uses this freaking 3/4, 3/16, 7/64s. They don't even know how to use the metric system. Right? Everyone else around the world uses a metric system. That's why they build quality products. And so that's what they were saying over in Georgia. I said, you're trying to do all this stuff. I said, all these businesses that are coming over here, they're gonna bring all their people with them, and there's billions of them. There's 18 of them to each one of us. I told you we knew this in sociology already. 20 years ago we knew this. That it was a done deal 20 years ago. You can't stop it. And so Orange Man confirmed it. He was talking to this lady, and she was like, well, because ICE went over there and they raided all these engineers. They took, like, I guess 200 of their engineers, put them in shackles and freaking put them in prison, right? These people are educated. The Orientals outperform us on college exams with flying freaking colors. Okay? That's how dumbed down the people are, and they don't want to believe it. They refuse to believe it. And so Orange Man told her. She goes, well, we can build them ourselves over here. And he says, no, you can't. You have to have training to do this stuff. And so, confirmed it, what I said. It wasn't just me just, saying stupid crap. This is true. And so, all these industries that are coming here, they're bringing their people with them too. And what do you think these people are going to do? They're going to start raising families here. And there's billions of them. Okay? And look around you. Go out to the interstate and look at the population explosion. So, now, this, you might think, is this, you might think, is blasphemy. Okay? But there are billions of people on the planet who don't even for a minute think that. Okay? There's all kinds of different religions, and each one of them says they are the only way. Right? And and so taking into consideration that one of the main tricks of the oppressive class, the rulers, who um, I always say are Lucifer and the fallen angels. Okay? What you know as Lucifer and the fallen angels. These can be extraterrestrials who are doing this crap, mixing genes, and and so one of their main tactics was to use this thing called divide and conquer, which means that you pit the people against themselves, so that when these are amongst themselves, you're completely out of the picture and you can do whatever you want. This is the man behind the curtain, right? This is the mastermind, the one writing the script so that they can put it on film and then blast it across the whole United States. And the dumbos believe it. And so this method that they've used called divide and conquer. Okay? Get the people to fight each other. And it's absolutely powerful. The media, J.P. Morgan admitted it on his dying bed. He admitted it. He says, how I acquired all the money is I bought all of the media. Okay? It is absolutely powerful, and a lot of us don't really even know how to use it. Okay? It's very precise, and what do you think Joseph Goebbels was doing and Himmler? They came out and said it. Okay? And so so it's absolutely powerful. I'm not going to say exactly how, but it is powerful. And I've noticed certain things, and they know it's powerful. I don't know exactly, I'm not, I've never studied hypnosis. I've looked for information on hypnosis. You can't find it. There was a school a long time ago, 10, 20 years ago, they were saying, learn hypnosis. Then it just went away. But I think there is actually a school right here in Los Angeles. I saw it when I was going on the freeway. I'm not exactly sure. I think so. I think they have their a college or something that teaches hypnosis. And but they don't advertise. I just saw it when I was going by on the whatchamacallit. I was driving through on a 18-wheeler, and on the, I think it's the 110. It connects Los Angeles up to the coast and goes up through Santa Barbara and all the way up up north, down the coast. But anyhow, so I think this is what they're using for these people who keep fighting. And so I looked, I did a little bit of research because, they taught us dog shit in school. Okay? Anything geography, we don't know a damn thing about the world. They didn't teach us crap. Okay? And so I went online last night and I started doing a little research, finding out where these places are. And I looked at the Red Sea. I didn't even know where the Red Sea was. I saw this thing and I'm like, what is the body of water between Sudan and I don't even remember the other place now. The one on the other side, whatever it is. I said, what is the body of water between those? And it told me it was the Red Sea. So then I found out about the Mediterranean Sea. So I asked all this stuff about the Mediterranean Sea. And it's nothing like our ocean. And so then it led me to the Indian Ocean. And so I found out some stuff about the Indian Ocean, that that the whales go there. That's amazing, right? But this place, geographically, it's like we have the same weather. It's just like if you were down in El Centro. They're like, going into summer, they're like 2 months ahead of us. So it's warmer, and at wintertime, it's still a little bit warmer over there, right? As you're going down towards into Mexico, you're getting closer to the equator. So they're basically like Tijuana, Mexico, Baja California. That's where they are on the earth. They got the same weather. So right now they're probably only like 10 degrees warmer than we are right now. So we're sitting at like 72. I think their weather's going to be 78 today. And they're almost exactly 12 hours different. So they're almost like completely on the other side of the earth. This is where the Sudan is at, and Iraq, Libya, and all that stuff. Egypt. It's all on the same, how we are right here in Central California. Central California and Baja California. They have the same weather we do. And because I was looking at them and I was like, what in the hell are these people doing out in the desert? Right? If I was in the old days, I'd be over by, a river or the ocean, right? Where you're close to some water and stuff where you can take a bath and whatnot. And you can tell it's the desert because all that was out there are palm trees. And at least this picture that they showed this picture of what it probably looked like. That's what I'm referring to. And then I also found out that they got more freaking pyramids than you can shake a stick at. I didn't know this crap. I thought there was only like probably 5 or 6 pyramids, right? The Pyramid of Egypt, Pyramid of Yucatan or whatever it's called, the Aztecs down here in Mexico, but I thought that was it. It turns out that there's thousands and thousands of pyramids all over planet Earth. And even Nikola Tesla was tripping on it. Nikola Tesla said that they were using them for energy, wireless energy transmission. And so, we must be really super dumbed down. I didn't know any of this stuff about these pyramids. No wonder why the people don't know about the extraterrestrials. How much more evidence do you need than that? How are you going to build all these pyramids all around the world if you didn't know what the hell you were doing? Right? There was an intelligence here already. And they said, no, this is just what they say. They say that there's some underneath the ocean. Okay? They found them with technology. I forget what you call that. But anyhow, I had no idea there was thousands and thousands of them all over planet Earth. And so you know, this story, you know, we're supposed to have been here for thousands and thousands of years, but written history only started like I don't know how long ago, but this was basically mainstream media, right? This is before you had newspapers. This was controlled the narrative. And so it looks to me like they were using the same tactic. Because this story that they told about David and Goliath, to me that sounds like divide and conquer. So I looked up who are these people, and it turns out that one of them are the Israelites and the other ones are the Palestinians. And this is where they're talking about all this stuff that's going on, this war. Gaza, right? Gaza and Israel. So are these the people? Are these the two countries that were fighting each other? Because it's not very clear on AI. I mean, it's, you know, brings you from total ignorance to, you know, now you at least have a clue, but it's still like somebody is hiding something. And because it's not really clear. But if it is, if that's who David and Goliath represent, are these two countries that are fighting, then it sounds to me like this was the same old okey doke, divide and conquer. Because in the story, they use this thing, it's called glamorizing. When you glamorize it, everybody wants it. Humans love this. This is like, you know, Pulp Fiction. How they glamorized, you know, dope, right? It was glamorized. Or like on Saturday Night Fever, how they glamorized, you know, disco, which they put out for some strange reason. I don't know why. But when they glamorize anything, the humans just eat it up like there was no tomorrow. So they glamorized this David, how he basically beat the crap out of this enemy, Goliath, and they glamorized it to where everybody wants to be this person that they glamorized. Maybe that's why they're still fighting to this day. Okay? It plays on ego. Everybody wants to be the big cheese. This is one of the main things that Lucifer plays on. Okay? If you want to learn more, take a sociology class. It'll tell you. It's all psychology. And so I just wanted to share that. And as far as talking about the sexual stuff, you know, Fran, she played on The Nanny. There's some stuff there, but I don't want to touch it right now. For one, it talks about sexuality. And for two, there's all kinds of people already pissed off from what I said already. But This is true, right? It's not me just saying it. I'm just bringing awareness to it from what's written in the books that you can study in sociology or administration of justice. It's for people who are going into this profession, this occupation, and it's telling them, cool your jets, right? And bringing awareness to them. They're jacked up in their head. It tells you right in there. These freaking psychos are freaking drawn to that occupation like a freaking magnet, like flies to shit. Okay? Everybody took off. Those designs, I guess they're talking about the I guess they're talking about these. Right? Is that Windows or something? I don't know what the hell it is. It just all of a sudden started doing that. Before it was better. It would show pictures of, you know, mountains and really nice stuff. I don't know why it all of a sudden started showing that. Okay, so hello. Is that the best name you could think of? Hello? Okay, Regal Harbinger. If I see you again, I'm going to block you. Okay. We've got one message in here. I just had a nice poop. And Miss Turner, you're going to get blocked too if you keep leaving stupid messages that are not even funny. You totally don't have nothing to say or to add. Nothing intelligent. That's the best thing you could come up with. Okay, well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. And we'll keep you posted on any new things that come to mind. But I think that subject is important, you know, because this dude, he didn't look like that bad of a dude. And you're gonna go over here and blow somebody's brain off for a freaking beer? For one freaking beer? I hope the people who freaking called the cops freaking pat themselves on the back for one stupid freaking beer. I tell you, society is freaking jacked. They're jacked in their head, big time. So, and now once again, you can type into your YouTube search engine, police shooting, Las Cruces, New Mexico, Chevron gas station. And that should pull it up. There's all kinds of different ones, but they're hiding so much information, right? And it'd be real good if someone would do a follow-up and see what's actually what they did, because usually they just say we're going to do something, and you know, then when nobody's looking, they, you know, he's probably working already. You know, we don't even know if they even freaking drug tested him. To me, it looked like they were all on drugs, right? Look at their behavior. Look at the way they talk to each other. Didn't even take him 10 seconds to pull his whatchamacallit out and freaking blast him away. Didn't even try to, you know, get him on, you know, he went straight for the head. Like he was pissed off, like he was having a bad day, like somebody just pissed him off, right? And so anyway, So this needs to start getting a little bit more attention. Like I said, they obliterated the First Amendment auditors, or there would have been probably somebody, recording it, because that's what was happening. Whenever people were getting pulled over, people would go over there and they would start recording it, and they couldn't have that. They had to put it out. They know exactly how to go after them. They use the secret intelligence agencies on them. They give them hell. People that freaking surround them. They're on them like freaking flies on shit. Okay? This is how they control the stuff. I told you they were going to put it out, and they put it out. But I want to bring some awareness to it for the people who are out there who are, thinking of, getting back on it and bringing more attention to this. Because that's freaking, if you can't see how wrong that is, you're either not human or you're just a total piece of freaking dog shit. If you can't see how wrong that is. Okay? So thanks for tuning in. And we'll talk to you later. Wait, there was one more thing I was going to say about the Pismo Beach. Oh, maybe not. Talk to you later. Thanks for leaving comments. Thanks for subscribing. Hit the notification bell so that you can catch me when I go live, because I don't load up everything to public. So some of the stuff that I do live, you can only catch me when I'm doing it live. And thanks for hitting the likes. Thank you. Talk to you later.